The room erupted in laughter the moment I signed the paperwork. My uncle shook his head. My brother actually clapped. My father looked me straight in the eye and said, "Congratulations, you just threw your future away." I had sold every dollar of my inheritance to buy one thing they all called worthless: Bitcoin. For the next 10 years, they never let me forget it. Every holiday, every birthday, every family gathering, I was the family's biggest joke. Then one morning, a black SUV pulled into my driveway. The people who once laughed at me suddenly couldn't stop apologizing. Because the investment they mocked had changed my life forever. My name is Sophia Carter. I am 35 years old, and I live in Miami, Florida, USA. When my grandfather passed away, he left me an inheritance of $250,000. Everyone assumed I'd use it as a down payment on a house. That was certainly my parents' plan. But I'd spent months researching Bitcoin and blockchain technology. I believed it had long-term potential. Not because I expected easy money, but because I believed the technology would reshape the financial world. My family thought I was insane. The day I told them I was investing everything into Bitcoin, chaos broke out. My mother cried. My father called me irresponsible. My uncle laughed so hard he could barely breathe. Even my older brother said, "You'll be broke before the year's over." Nobody asked why I believed in it. They had already decided I was a failure. I ignored the criticism and made the investment. Within months, Bitcoin's price dropped sharply. My phone filled with messages from relatives. "How's your fake internet money?" "Ready to admit you were wrong." Family dinners became humiliating. Eventually, I stopped showing up. Not because I was embarrassed. Because I was tired of defending a decision they had no interest in understanding. The next several years tested my patience. The market crashed more than once. Friends sold. Coworkers panicked. I didn't. I kept working my full-time job as a software developer and left the investment alone. I reminded myself why I bought it in the first place. Long-term thinking, not short-term emotions. Then, slowly, everything changed. Bitcoin recovered. Then it climbed higher. Then much higher. Instead of spending the gains, I diversified. I invested in commercial real estate, index funds, and technology startups. By the time I turned 35, I had financial freedom. Not because I got lucky. Because I stayed patient. Everything came full circle after a local business magazine featured my investment journey. The article spread quickly. Apparently, it reached my family. A week later, they invited me to a family barbecue. I almost didn't go. But curiosity won. The moment I arrived, the atmosphere felt completely different. The same uncle who once laughed at me asked for investment advice. My brother wanted to discuss cryptocurrency. Even my father apologized for calling me reckless. Then he admitted the real reason they wanted me there. Their family business was drowning in debt. They hoped I would invest. I listened quietly. When they finished, I smiled and said, 10 years ago, you all agreed I was crazy. If you truly believed that, why would you trust me with your business today?" Nobody had an answer. The silence said everything. I wished them well, but declined to invest. Business decisions require trust. And trust had disappeared long before the money ever showed up. As I walked toward my car, my father stopped me. "I should have believed in you." I looked back and replied, "You didn't have to believe in Bitcoin. You just had to believe in your daughter." Today, I spend my time growing businesses, mentoring young entrepreneurs, and supporting financial education programs. Money changed my lifestyle, but it never changed my values. Looking back, I don't smile because Bitcoin made me wealthy. I smile because I refuse to let fear, ridicule, or other people's opinions make my decisions. They all called me crazy for selling my inheritance to buy Bitcoin. 10 years later, the only thing they regretted more than laughing at me was never listening in the first place.